All right, let's just get right into it. You ever have that feeling that you're just living the same exact day over and over and over again? That being an adult is less of a grand adventure and more like you're just reading lines from a script you've been handed? Well, today we are pulling back that curtain. Man, this quote, it just hits you, right? It's so simple, but the rhythm of it, that repetition, it's the perfect soundtrack for the daily grind. You can almost feel that loop tightening just by hearing the words. And it's funny because we see this idea everywhere once you start looking for it. You think about Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob, right? His whole life is just the gym. Or the entire setup of B-Movie, where your job is picked for you and that's it. These aren't just throwaway gags. They're tapping into a real, deep-seated fear we all have, that we're stuck in an inescapable loop. Seriously, does it? That feeling of being on a treadmill? You're putting in all the effort, you're running hard, but you look around and you're in the exact same spot you were yesterday. It's a super common feeling, but it's one we almost never actually stop and put a name to. Well, that is exactly what we're going to do right now. Because this feeling, it isn't just some vague, gloomy cloud hanging over you. No, it's a very real pattern. And the first step to understanding something is to give it a name. So, here it is, the core idea for today's explainer, the mundane cycle. This isn't just about feeling bored, it's a whole system. Look at those keywords right there in the definition, work and survival. This cycle isn't designed for your passion projects or your dreams. It's designed for one thing, maintenance. It's basically the operating system running quietly in the background of your life. And here's the big twist, the real mind bender. Feeling stuck in this loop doesn't mean you failed or that your life is somehow broken. It's not a bug in the system. For a lot of us, it's actually a core feature of how modern life is designed. Okay, so if it's a feature, not a bug, then what does the blueprint look like? How is this daily grind actually constructed? Let's break down the architecture. It's almost shockingly simple when you lay it out like this, isn't it? These are the 4 pillars holding the whole thing up. Wake, work, eat, sleep. And then, of course, the most important part, the engine that keeps it all turning, repeat. Everything else that makes life worth living, your hobbies, your friends, your passions, all of that has to get squeezed into the tiny little cracks between these giant beams. And this is where we really feel the tension. On the left, you've got your grand plan for life, all the big, exciting stuff, freedom, adventure, purpose. Then you look at the right, the daily script. The list is a lot shorter, huh? Work, survive, repeat. That huge gap between those 2 columns, that's where so much of our modern anxiety is born. So we've identified the loop, we've given it a name, and we've even looked at the blueprint. So for this last part, let's just step back from the script for a second and ask one final and I think very important question. Let's just run with this idea for a minute. Let's say it's true. Your life, your daily routine, it really is a script that you're following. If that's the case, then maybe the most important question you could ever ask yourself is this one. Who's the author? If you're living inside the mundane cycle, who's the one holding the pen? Because the answer to that question, that could be the beginning of a completely different story.